Hi Flosstube! I'm back! Okay, so I've switched up where I'm doing my Flosstube this time. Still abroad and not at home. Introduction should be good right about now. My name is Christina. Usually I live in Sweden. Currently I am abroad due to work. I'm working abroad for now, and it is really hot here where I am. And as you may have heard from other Flosstubers from, for example, France, I've been following several that are all over the United Kingdom, Ireland, and it's the same. It's really hot here, and since I'm from Sweden, anything over like 30 is extremely hot for me, or very, very hot. So I do have my air conditioner on, and it will have to stay on because if I don't have it on, I have the door to my balcony open and there will force some wind in my apartment. But if I have it open, then I have all the noise from the city outside. It is a major city, so there's lots of noise. And if I keep it closed but my air conditioner off, it gets really hot in here. So we're keeping the aircon on. And I am very, very sorry if that annoys you, or yeah, it is what it is. And yeah, so with that being said, welcome back to any returning subscribers, and welcome to anyone new. If you like what you see, please give me a like, a subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And okay, is there anything else? I don't think so. Okay, cool. So let's get into the projects and everything else that I usually bring up on my Flosstube. I need my notes. Okay, here. Okay, so first, stats for the month. I worked on 5 projects. One of the projects from my previous Flosstube I was supposed to work on, I did not. And okay, so this month so far I have done 7,763 stitches, a bit less than last month. However, I did have pretty much a whole week where I didn't stitch at all because I was on vacation with my husband, so I didn't stitch when he was here. So it is what it is. And yeah, so I have 2 new starts for this month, and I have 0 finishes. And that's it for stats. So the new starts, we will start first of all with Mountain View. This is what it will look like when finished. It is created by Baidenko. You can find her on VK/Boosty. You can also, I believe some of her patterns are available on My Bobbin. Not every pattern she's made, but several of them are. And this particular pattern is 250 by 250, so it's perfectly square. And it is a total of 62,500 full cross stitches. In this pattern, there is no back stitch, no half cross. There is a lot of blends, however. But I'm doing it 2/2 on 28 count, so it's pretty much a 14 count. Even weave, light gray, nothing special. I'm gritting it myself as I need to, and the way I'm stitching it is in the diagonal method that Krys over at Cross Stitch Meadow has explained on his channel. I'm doing it the I think he calls it the cross country diagonal. So you do 3 blocks of 10 down in the diagonal, and for me it's from the top left corner. And for this pattern, that's been going really well. It works great, keeps everything nice, neat, and yeah. And I have done on this pattern 1,680 stitches, leaving me at 2.68%. And I started this on the 1st of June. And this is what it looks like so far. As you may be able to see, there is a little bit of brown coming in here. That is because this is going to be the start of the cave entrance for this pattern. So that is very exciting. Don't know when I'll work on it next time, because I'm going to switch up how I choose projects to work on. But we'll get to that later on in the video. Okay, so we'll put that over here. And okay, next new start is called Fantasy Library. It is charted by Tilton Crafts, and the artist is First Class Digital Designs. This is what it will look like when finished. However, this version has all the white background stitched, and I am not going to do that. So for this pattern, it is originally charted as being 500 by 300. With the removal of the background, it's less than that. So I've done a little calculating, and it's not a lot of the B5200 white background that is in the books themselves, but I've given it a guess, and I have calculated that the total number of stitches that I will do is 114,961 stitches. There was over like 35,000 white stitches. And I started this also on the 1st of June this year. And I did 277 stitches, putting me at 0.24% with the stitch number that I have calculated. And I did start this in the way that Cross Stitch Meadow explained his diagonal, and it looks like this. Not a lot. If I go like this, will you focus? Focus. Okay, it doesn't really want to, but okay. And this was a lot of confetti. So because it's so much confetti, it takes forever to do one diagonal, and I don't have the patience for that. So for this one, I'm going to not do diagonals anymore, and instead I am going to do cross country, but book by book instead. And yeah, for me that makes more sense and makes it easier for me to do. So I have started gridding, as you can see, and I will probably continue to grid more straight down until I all to the edge of the book, across, and then down I'll work. So hopefully I won't make a lot of mistakes. It is done 1/1 full cross on a 28 count even weave. Okay, so those were the new starts. I need a drink. Okay, so Enchanted Vase we have here. So this is what it will look like when finished. And it was started last month. And it is charted by Golden Kite. I don't know the artist. This month I did 1,508 stitches, and I am now at 3.19% of the total. This is also done in the method explained by Krys over at Cross's Meadow, the cross-country diagonal. I've gotten quite a bit done on it, and when I'm stitching it up close, it's kind of hard to see what I'm stitching, but now that I see it from afar, I have actually started the vase. I can see that now. And there are part threads, or I think at least I've started the vase, but I'm pretty sure. So this is what I have, and I will put this behind it. And yeah. So it is done 2/1 full cross on, I have no idea what kind of fabric this is, but it's sparkly and I think that suits it. The gold you can see here is because I couldn't count, and one of my columns was 11 stitches and not 10, mucking everything up. So I put in this gold to tell me where it was, and I've now started again with the blue pen marking out my 10 by 10 grids. And I believe this right here is the top lip of the vase. That would make sense, I think, but I don't know. So that's interesting. If that's true, that would be very cool. And it's looking really good. This is a lot of blends, but it's fun. I love working on this. Sometimes I leave, like here, there's one stitch not done. That is because this color goes in here, and I figure, and due to the flow I would like to stitch, I would start down here, move up, do this stitch, and then continue up, and then put it into the next diagonal. Or no, I think it was up, because it would continue up here, this color, and not down here. Yeah, really loving how this is turning out. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And again, this also needs to have its Q step moved next time I work on it. Cool. So that's that project. Oh, cool. Okay. Next project is Words to Live By, which is a completed SAL from Tiny Modernist. This is what it will look like when finished, minus the outermost border. I'm not doing that because it won't fit on my fabric. I have completed the centermost block, and previously I had the block, when you love what you have everything you need. And I have since completed 2 other blocks, and I am working on a 3rd block. And before I put this away, depending on how the wheel goes, I will complete the block I'm working on. And it is done 2 over 2 on a 28 count black even weave that I was previously using for a different pattern, so I need to frog out this bit here. But that's a problem for future Christina, and this is what we have so far. I would take it out of the nerd hoop, but it's perfect for the block I'm working on. And the saying that will go in this block down here is, today is a good day to have a good day, and I have to have a good day finished. The reason I'm doing it bottom up is previously in these other, I did it for this one and it sits perfectly. For this one, I decided I would do top down and mucked up the counting. So this part here is 1 stitch too high, but everything else is correct. And as you can see, there is a larger gap here than anywhere else in these, and that is because this part is 1 stitch too high. And the saying here is, nothing worth having comes easily. And in this square it says, act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. Yeah, loving this. These tiny little quotes and the kind of chalkboardy feel of the pattern. And okay, last pattern or last piece that I've been working on is called Cartoon Town from Mona Lisa. I purchased this via Dream Stitch, and the version of this that I'm doing is with rayon threads. They were sold as being with silk. It's not silk. And this is something that I'm stitching along with Nessa over at Cross Stitching with Nessa. She will be linked down below. And I have rows 1 to 40 finished, and now I am working in rows 41 to 90. And I have finished 1 color. I've actually finished a few colors, actually. And if I can get this. Okay, cool. So here you have it all in frame. I have finished off these colors, these like bluey green teal colors. Those are finished. I completed, what else did I do? I've finished this dark brown is finished in these, and now I am working in this yellow color. I am working in this red color here, and this, it's like a middle toned brown, and it has quite a bit, as you can see in these rows. And I will finish this color off up to row 90, then move on to the next color, which will be this yellow, which is also a brown. and work it in all over before moving on to this roof here, which will be a bunch of, like, you can see here there's some red tones because it is a like brick tile roof or terracotta roof or whatever you call it. You can kind of see here like the outlines of the, yeah. But it's looking really nice so far. Very pretty. And I'm enjoying it. This is done 3/1 full cross on 11 count. And it is an excellent stitch to work on when I'm tired at night. And I have this light that can shine down on it, so I get good light and I work on it. And you can see the threads here that I use for it. And I have switched to using soap, like a hard soap. So as you can see, here's a brand name, but I've been using this on the threads to make them more easy to handle. They glide better through the fabric, they don't knot as much, and it's been very nice to use this. The provided wax isn't gonna cut it by a long shot, and so I decided, I asked around in my friend's chats when she was streaming. Go check her out, by the way. Her name is Suzanne and she goes by Spinning Yarns Designs on YouTube, and she streams just about every day. And asking around in the chats, someone gave the idea, well, why don't you use soap? Because you're going to wash it later and it's plastic threads, so you don't have to worry about is there oils in it or whatnot. It doesn't really matter. So I figured, why not? This was cheap. So I tried it out and it works really good, actually. So that's a tip for y'all. Free of charge. Okay, enough of that. So, haul. I do have a bit of haul. Golden Kite, which is a Swedish company, by the way. Whoop whoop, gotta toot my own horn, especially in light of the upcoming do or die soccer game today between France and Sweden. Yeah. So Golden Kite is a Swedish company, and they have every week different patterns on sale. And she has everything from old artworks from Monet and the like. I don't know half the artists there, but a lot of like the famous artworks are there. And if you have an old artist that you like their paintings, they probably have it somewhere. And in this week's sale was a pattern that I really, really, really love. It is gorgeous, and it is called Jadewater Falls, and I got it. It is huge. I didn't even dare look at how big, but it's gorgeous. I got it in the standard size, blended colors. It's amazing, and this is what it will look like when finished. I'm not going to start it. Nope. And the other patterns, I got 3 patterns because any pattern that is in the sale has a discount already. However, if you get 3 patterns, whether or not all 3 are on the sale or not, you get an extra discount. So I'm like, great. Jadewater Falls is still stupid expensive. So I figured I would get some other patterns that I really like, and I would get them in the small versions with blended threads. so they're not as expensive. Get a discount on everything, and it would be worth it for me. Like I said, Jadewater Falls is still really, really expensive. All the patterns on Golden Kite are not the cheapest patterns you can buy, but they look amazing. They really do. And Enchanted Vase is from Golden Kite, and that looks amazing according to me. And that's the small version. So it's not even the highly detailed version that you can get if you get the standard size. Now, the other two patterns that I got are called, I have to check. So the other two is called Whispering Waterfalls, the small blended threads version, and this is the mock-up that I'm going to show you. It still looks really, really good and amazing. And the third one I got is called the Still Hour, again small with blended threads, and the Still Hour feels like a watercolor painting to me, and it kind of reminds me of some of the various stamped kits that I've seen, with like the mountains in the background and the trees and the river, and then you have the little boat, the fishing boat or whatever. So I decided I would get this pattern from them and do that eventually. Okay. So, plans. I'm going to change up how I pick my patterns because I feel like I kind of go for the same patterns every time. And with me here now, including my new whips, I have 14 patterns with me. That is completely excluding all the patterns I have back in my house in Sweden. And I would like to work on finishing some things. So, that being said, I still want to surprise myself, I guess, I'm going for. So, this month in July is Tour de France, which is a cycling competition. The lovely Laura over at Ice Itch Birds, again linked down below, is hosting a challenge where for every kilometer that they bike, you do one stitch. She has an event for this and the whole shebang. It's awesome. She's awesome. Go give her some love. And so I'm taking part in this to get a pattern moving. And the pattern I want to get moving is Wolf with Glasses, shown here. And so I will show where I am at the end, because I am also going to spin a wheel. I have in my wheel spinning app, I use the one called Tiny Decisions. I have put all the patterns, all the projects I have started in here in this wheel, with the exception of the Cartoon Town stamped kit. With the exception of that, everything is on this wheel. And so we are going to spin the wheel. Make sure I don't have sound on because, no. Okay. So let's see what we get. Oh, cool. My Pokemon. Great. That needs work. Awesome. And the second one will be fantasy books or fantasy library. It's not titled correctly here, but cool. So one of the patterns I just showed you will stay out and I will work on it. Oh, that's really good. Okay, cool. Awesome. So great. Let me go grab the patterns that I will be working on next month, and I will show you where I am going, where I'm at now, and we will see how much I get done. Okay, so first we have the wolf with glasses. That looks like this currently. Pattern from Sul Galleria on Etsy. I'm doing this as a test stitch for her. A big reason why I want to get this moving along. Yeah. Then we have the first wheel spin. That was the Pokemon chart. Gen 1. And that is currently looking like this. Doing the Gen 1 Max Color extended version. Really, I'm so happy that I will be moving this along. The background is now switched to be 2/1 half cross, and the Pokemon themselves are 1/1 full cross. Yeah. Love it. Oh, love this. I am so happy that got picked. And then, of course, we have Fantasy Library. That looks like this for now. Next month, it will be stitched on. It'll be cross-country converted, so maybe you won't see... Well, you'll see a difference, but you might not see that it looks like anything yet. But, oh well, it needs to be worked on. So, work on it we shall. Cool. Yay! That was really nice. So, that's my plans. So, the last thing we have to do now is I will show you my journaling. And for July, I took out a tape I have. It's PET tape, and it is now completely used up. And the cover pages look like this. And the quote I have is from the book Aragon by Christopher Paolini. And the quote is, "The sea is emotion incarnate. It loves, hates, and weeps. It defies all attempts to capture it with words and rejects all shackles. No matter what you say about it, there is always that which you can't." And it is from the book Aragon, which is part of the Inheritance series, book number 1. Cool. Then we have my month. As you can see, if you can understand Swedish, it says semester for a whole week, and that is because I'm going home to Sweden for a whole week on vacation, which is going to be amazing. And I went to the gym today, so I put a little star to show when I went to the gym. Yeah. Then I have my Flosstube notes, my notes on training. Yeah. And these are the 4 weeks that I have. Like so. And I ran out of the PVC tape, so I did have another one with me that is with jellyfish. And since it was like a sea theme or ocean theme, I figured, this works out really well. So yeah, really happy with how this came out. And this works really well. And that is that. So, thank you for staying and watching. I'm going to get this uploaded so it will be available on the 1st of July. And again, please remember to like, subscribe if you haven't, leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video, August 1st. Bye!